Well, I'm honored to have the opportunity to introduce a colleague of 50 years who has been a great friend the entire time, and somebody who we really don't have quite words to wrap up who Mark Halperin is. I was very tempted, since I noticed Steve Wishner was in the audience, to invite Steve to come up and do the introduction, but I thought Mark would kill me. So instead of that, I'm just going to try to run through a few important facts about Mark's career. The first important fact was he was born back in 1949. He has got a great family, and he's very close to his family. And I think Mark is who he is today because of his family. And he also was key move. He was born in Chicago, then lived in St. Louis, and moved to Mark's nodding his head. When he moved to Memphis, 7th grade, started MUS. He made a lot of friends. Some of whom are here tonight. However, his best move was marrying the In addition to J. Byron Boyle Sr., his mentor at Boyle was Henry Morgan. Very close. Henry mentored him right away. He was very unsuccessful. This was a picture taken after the hunt with Henry. That is Henry in the background. Mark was always at work doing something outside. Would appear to be golf. But he's known for favorite quotes. And probably the one that I've heard more times than I would care to is "Loose lips sink ships." This was delivered to us every time we were in the middle of a negotiation with anybody, no matter who the tenant was. He was terrified that it would get out to the community. His favorite cause, Make-A-Wish. More Halperinisms. We've all heard these as well. And these are really true, and actually, I think, terribly important. Do the right thing. Put the tenant first. Never compromise your principles. And never quit. In 1976, he started, along with a few others, Ridgeway Center, which has ended up being a very important part of the business hub of Memphis. In 1986, he was working hard on Humphrey Center down at Walnut Grove and what would become eventually Wolf River Boulevard. And in 1996, Schilling Farms. Mark is basically, he's been accused of being everywhere. And his signs, although he's defaulted to some superior agents that work with him, are everywhere. He is apparently a landmark. He likes long-term relationships, as we saw in our earlier slide. He is the same after the sign meets as he was before. But he still wonders, this is one of our best ads, I think, of all time, what exactly is a square foot? He may not be the best relaxer, but he makes gains. Yet we have all wondered, will he ever finish? Of course, they wondered that about me. He is an award winner, so many awards, it is ridiculous. I just had to select a few of the pinnacle awards, too many awards. I think one of the most important things Mark's done for the community is his work on EDGE. He is on the board of EDGE. EDGE is very important to the future of Memphis, and he has taken it extremely seriously. He is a key power player, for lack of a better word, when he is not doing leases, and a long-serving trustee of Memphis University School, almost the longest serving that has ever been. And very important to Mark, he's past president of the Memphis Jewish Home. Many people in this room have benefited from Mark's attention to the Memphis Jewish Home because people my age may be there, but a lot of other people that are related to people that I know out in the Saudias have been there and have been well cared for. He's also the past president of the Temple of Israel, which is a huge thing, former board member of the Jewish Foundation of Memphis, and on the board of trustees of the Union of Reformed Judaism. But he's always fun. This is a great shot. Those of you that are young won't recognize this fellow, perhaps, but this was the first president of Lambda Alpha, Bob Lofton. His dad told him, all you got to do is the right thing. It may not be convenient. It may be painful. But if you do the right thing, your life will turn out pretty good. He did the right thing when we corporately were losing a very important tenant. Service Master was moving downtown to potentially downtown, but the big problem was his Service Master was potentially leaving Memphis. We were losing a huge tenant. One of our other colleagues in the room, Ron Bells and his dad, had the opportunity to make a very special deal. Mark, I think, really and truly did nothing to thwart it because we've always believed the tenant needs to go where the tenant needs to go. And they thought about going downtown, and Mark did everything he could to help make them stay in Memphis, even though we lost a great tenant. He did do a lot of shuffling. I think it's one of the most complicated real estate deals that we've ever been involved in. He does the right thing. He does not do all this by himself. He's got a lot of people helping him, 27 folks in his operation, but Tom Hutton and Kathy Pampure, both who are here, have been key colleagues of his. Here's a shot of Mark's team. So we want to give congratulations to Mark for the Lifetime Achievement Award, Lambda Alpha. And I'll just say that Mark didn't want me to do the introduction. You can see why. But he really wanted a fellow that has been his mentor since he came to Boyle Investment, and that's Henry Morgan. Bard Morgan's here. Henry Morgan Jr. is here. But unfortunately, Henry is very busy out in Montana. But he did want to say something.
I'm Henry Morgan with Boyle Investment Company, and approximately 50 years ago, Mark Halperin came to our office looking for a job. He had just graduated from the University of Tennessee. We gave him a job in management, commercial and office properties. In a year or so, he asked to be moved into leasing, which fortunately we did. He has played a large part in the development and leasing of approximately 12 million square feet of of commercial and office space. I don't think our company would be as successful if we hadn't had Mark with us over this long period of time. I have been blessed to develop a close friendship with Mark over the years. We've had a lot of fun in the process of doing deals together. He's been very pleasant to work with, consistent in his ability to do the right thing for programs and our company. It certainly has been a credit to me to have hired Mark, and I like to remind myself of that. Congratulations on receiving this Lifetime Achievement Award, which you greatly deserve.
Could have done a lot worse. Here, now you in that picture. A long time ago. I don't really know what to say. When Rick and y'all came to see me, I'm a little bit lost for words. I couldn't imagine why McCullough and Woods would be coming to see me. I figured they were trying to sell us something. And then when they told me, I thought there's got to be some mistake. And then when I looked at the list of past recipients, and the first name on the list is Jack Bell's, these guys are confused. There's no way that this makes any sense. Ron and Denise are here. Mr. Bell's is still kicking hard. Where's Ron?
We tried to get you with bells forever.
Remember one time he said that to me, and I said, "Show me the money."
Nothing's paid.
And I remember we were walking downtown in front of Peabody, and that was a very long time ago. There's, how old was your dad? 96?
95 and a half.
95 and a half. He's still punching hard, which Ron will attest to. But, so many people in the room that I admire and like and call friends, and I look and I see Scott and Ray and Joe, and Frank Ricks over there, who I don't know, we go way back. And it's really, this is very special. Diane told me not to get up here and ramble. So I did write a just 8 or 10 page talk. But if I do ramble, I'll be up here a lot longer than if I read my comments. So I will read them. I made a big mistake. Both my brother who lives in Houston and my sister who lives in St. Louis, which Rusty still gets very confused. I never lived in St. Louis, but my sister does live in St. Louis, and she has for a long time. They both wanted to be here, and I told them not to come. And in hindsight, that was a pretty big mistake. But I will try not to ramble. And Rusty could have embarrassed me a lot more than he did, and I'm very grateful to him for not embarrassing me, because it's really pretty easy to do. I had a great start in life with wonderful parents and siblings. My mom and dad raised us to be independent and treat everyone with respect. They insisted by doing the right thing, everyone came out ahead in the long run. Rusty really has stolen about 90% of what I'm going to say, because he had it in this presentation, which I didn't see until tonight. I've had great friends and the unbelievable good fortune of being able to trick Diane into being my life partner. Her love and especially patience has been indescribable. My good fortune continued when I was blessed with the best mother-in-law, father-in-law, and siblings-in-law my sister-in-law Susie and George Woodman. And I really did say that. I had the best mother-in-law on the planet. And if you're lucky enough to have the best mom and dad, and then you have the best mother-in-law and father-in-law, you really hit the bonanza. And that's what happened to me. Franklin Roosevelt said, be sincere, be brief, and be seated. And I'm going to do my best to follow his advice. We've all heard the days are long and the decades are short. These 5 decades have gone by just incredibly fast, and it's really hard to comprehend. I was introduced to Henry Morgan by my lifelong friend Jack Erb, who looks a lot older than me, whose grandmother, Margaret Falls, was Byron Boyle's senior sister. And she suggested that Jack and I go see Henry. We went and saw Henry and talked to him a couple of different times about a real estate class project we were working on at UT in Knoxville. Henry and I talked a couple of times after that, and he ended up hiring me over 50 years ago. I have reported to him and worked with him all this time. He says I've not reported to him in over 35 years. We won't go into that in great detail. We have a great team at Boyle, some members of which we have lost. 2 of those, O.C. Thompson, who was our first full-time maintenance man, and Bob Lofton, were both great inspirations to me. Bob was our Chief Administrative Officer at Boyle, and as has been previously stated, was the first president of this Lambda Alpha chapter. I wonder if he would have ever thought I would receive this award. I'm going to defer just for a second, dear. When Henry hired me, Bob was on vacation. And Bob came back from vacation, and I was sitting in his office. And he walked in and he said, "Who are you?" And I introduced myself, and I said, "I work for you." He said, "You do?" I said, "Yeah." And that was my start with Bob. And Bob was a great friend and mentor, and he was a great part of Boyle. As also previously stated, in later years, Kerry Whitehead and Joel, both colleagues at Boyle, served as Lambda Alpha chapter president. I believe the real glue that has held our Boyle culture together for 90 years is the unwavering directive from our founder, Byron Boyle Sr. The bedrock of life, success, and happiness is loyalty and integrity. Over the years, we've certainly missed a lot of deals, but we've never made any by cutting corners or making promises that we could not keep. I got to turn pages here. I believe this page, I almost got off line. I've had many mentors, Henry Morgan being the champion, guiding me, supporting me, and empowering me and my colleagues to do our jobs, serve our customers, and support our community. They have encouraged us to think like owners and make decisions in the context of long-term value. The life lessons and support I've received from Henry, Barrett Boyle Jr., who unfortunately is not here tonight, Rusty, and others, has served me very well. I received this flattering award on behalf of my colleagues at Boyle, which currently number approximately 135 in Memphis and Nashville. Our Memphis office properties team includes 27 members, consisting of property management and leasing, and that group partners with a host of other team members, including but not limited to marketing, finance, accounting, human resources, insurance, development, etc. We have 12 skilled, dedicated maintenance technicians who are on call 24 hours a day and are the face of Boyle Investment Company to our customers. They, in turn, are supported by dozens of vendors and contractors. I believe the future is bright for our company with the next generation of ownership in Henry Morgan Jr., Byron Morgan, and Paul Boyle having the same commitment to loyalty and integrity that their grandfather and our mentor Byron Sr. demonstrated along with their parents, Snow and Henry Morgan, and Huddy and Byron Boyle Jr. And Henry Jr. is here at the table with Matt and Joel. Byron Morris at the table with Matt and Joel. And I know Paul. Paul's back at the table with Bruce in the back. I believe the way to be a good leader is to be a great team member. Some of you have heard me say I'm deep in the fourth quarter, but hopefully not the last 2 minutes. Hopefully not like the last 30 seconds. I'm still in the game because I'm inspired every day by people like Kathy, Tom, Dina, Matt, Rusty, as well as our other 130 plus team members. Probably the one that's kept me in the game the longest is Kathy. Everything I'm not good at, she's great at. And as many of you know, she's been a leading force company for 38 years. And Dina, who's sitting next to her, who's our star, and I'm very proud of. I'm really amazed to be included on a list of many of Memphis' most important, most inspirational real estate practitioners, including Byron, Boyle, and Rusty. When I looked at the list and saw Mr. Bell's name, I can't call him Jack, and Mike Rose, and I can go on and on. People in this room, it's pretty mind-boggling. Thanks for being here tonight, especially our dear friends, Jan and Mark Hanover, Eileen and Steve Wishnia, Nancy Robinson Richards in Las Vegas. He claimed he was working. Robin and Billy Orgel, Ruthie and Joe Samaha, Nat Landau, and my sister-in-law and brother-in-law, Susan and George Woodman. George is a very fine surgeon if anybody needs surgery. Do you have anything to drink? He's not available. He's not. Maya Angelou said, people forget what you said, people forget what you did, but people will not forget how you made them feel. And y'all made me feel great. And I really appreciate it. I dismissed.
No, you're not dismissed. Wow. I was going to ask, I have one last thing to say. If you work for Boyle, if you'll come up, we're going to get a group picture with Mark in the middle. If you wanted to work for Boyle, you need to stay seated.